Rita Douglas on My Mind Show. I'm here now with Miss Megan Rabin with the Chamber of Commerce, and she is the Director of Membership Marketing and Programming. I told her a few minutes ago her title keeps growing. It's like they keep adding these titles to her. But thank you for being here, Megan.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
We're going to talk a little bit today about how the Chamber of Commerce is helping businesses and how the businesses are actually reacting to all the COVID-19. And I know people are probably tired of hearing about it, but at the same time, I mean, it is very prevalent in our community, especially when it comes to small local businesses. So tell me, how is the business community how have they been reacting to COVID-19?
Well, it's funny, since this all started, a lot of our businesses, and I think you can agree if you start thinking about it, they started very strict guidelines for their businesses off the get-go. Before maybe even before Douglas put out their order, before the governor for sure put out his first order.
I know a lot of them started curbside pickup and things like that.
Many of them shut down, and even now they don't really even need an executive order from the governor because they're requiring masks in their businesses. They're doing all this intense sanitization of their businesses and imposing all their own rules and restrictions. So I'm kind of proud of them that, you know, they didn't need the government to tell them how to keep their customers safe, how to keep their business safe. And particularly those businesses that are working so hard to combat COVID, I think we especially need to thank them because they're really putting themselves out to try to stop it themselves. Right.
Our business owners are being smart, actually, because heaven forbid somebody went into a business and then they became sick and then I got it from so-and-so business, and that would just ruin them.
Well, and probably break their hearts.
Right.
If somebody caught it from the Chamber of Commerce, I would be heartbroken that we didn't do enough. And I think a lot of them feel that way, and they're working very hard. I did want to tell y'all about some of our businesses have made a pledge. Okay. The mayor was talking about it briefly moments ago. It's through the governor. It's called the I'm In campaign.
Yes.
The Georgia Safety Promise. And you can go on there to georgiasafetypromise.com and pledge, make a pledge for your business, or you can do it individually as a resident or a visitor. And I have it right here. Essentially, they pledge to use face coverings, to do social distancing, to wash and sanitize hands, and to clean high-touch surfaces.
Right.
And whenever you make this promise, they give you this huge toolkit of social media posts, printables. You can print these signs for your business to show that you've made the pledge, window clings, different things like that. So we definitely encourage everyone to do that, and some of our members have already. And that way they can, you know, we know generally which businesses are working hard to implement these things, but this way you can publicly post it that we
put it out there statewide. I mean, you know, especially when you join a program like that, you're going to get some
publicity,
attention.
and visibility. Even as a resident, you can get a hold of this toolkit. If you don't own a business, you can register as an individual, pledge as an individual, and get a hold of this toolkit and post it on your own social media so that people know that, hey, Megan Rabin is pledging to do her part to stop COVID-19. So that's a really cool thing that we've got going on. Okay. We also have some of our own documents that we've created, like these, in both English and Spanish, that you can post in the front of your business that says face covering required before entering this facility. Okay. And that'll kind of help you get the word out too if you do have these regulations in place. That way someone doesn't enter your business and not know what they're expecting. So we have documents like that available. If you need help making a social media post, we just want to help. So anything you need to help your business implement COVID-19 strategies, we're here to help. That's what we do.
All these things that you are offering now, is that some of the perks of becoming a member of the Chamber of Commerce?
Absolutely. Especially the information highway. I don't know how businesses learn about all this kind of stuff unless they're part of the business community,
Right.
which is the Chamber of Commerce. So, I mean, there are countless resources and countless resources for information that they can grab hold of if they're a member of the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay. Now, during this pandemic, have y'all seen any, like an increase in your chamber membership, or has it went down? Or?
Well, we were very fearful that our membership would go down at first, but it really hasn't. We've
good.
had a lot of new members. I actually have a list. Burnham Berry Farms, Dawson Adams Photography, The Picket Fence, Grace and Grit Boutique, House of Magnolia, Dusty Diamond, Tidal Wave Auto Spa, Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Derek Herlocker,
Okay.
Next Era Energy, America Cargo Trailers. Yes, I said that
America.
right.
That's right. America.
And Premax Digital Solutions. All of those businesses became members just within the span of the COVID-19 pandemic. So we're really thankful that not only did they continue their business,
Right.
but they also invested in their community all at the same time.
Right.
So that's important. We've also had a bunch of member renewals still continuing. Some of our members that have been members for 60 years, they're not going to drop their membership. They are
Right.
still investing in their community, and we're even grateful for them as well. So.
Yeah, that was my next question was, have you had a lot of renewals and things like that? About how many, you don't have to give a perfect a number, but about how many members do you have with the chamber?
Just at about 600.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's we're very proud of all of those businesses who have joined, especially the ones that, like I said, have been members for 60 years.
Yes.
Some that come to mind are McCrary Daniels, Sims Funeral Home, Malcolm's Pharmacy. They've all been here. They're pillars of the community, and they've invested in the community for that long. We should love on them. And we post at the beginning of every month. We post it on social media and put it in our newsletter, our member anniversaries.
Okay.
And so it's everyone who joined in that month. For the past forever how long.
Okay.
And you can get on there and you can see who joined in July, per se, and how long they've been a member. So that's really great. So you can look at that list and go back and thank those businesses for their investment and their membership.
Good. Now, to become a member of the chamber, it doesn't have to be a new business. It can be an already established.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. And we even if an individual that doesn't own a business per se, but wants to be a community leader, they can also become a member.
Okay.
So it's usually businesses, but I mean, anyone who wants to invest in their community and take advantage of the member benefits is welcome to apply.
Right. And then you also, I know right now with COVID-19, the chamber's not able to do a lot of their annual events, especially over the summer. And I know the Taste of Douglas y'all had to put off. So even being a member, if they wanted to volunteer with an event or something like that, I'm sure you wouldn't turn them down.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to members, they also get great discounts and can even participate for free in many events and promotions we do like that. There are so many networking events throughout the year, a typical year, not
A typical year, that's right.
year, that are members only, which makes it that much more important for you to be able to network with the business community.
Right, and then you also have, like you were saying earlier, you do numerous social media posts. Y'all got different accounts, and so you promote the different businesses like that, and that is free promotion for business.
Yeah.
So that's another asset.
Yeah, absolutely.
How can the public support the business community?
Well, there are a number of ways. We are still selling Coffee Strong shirts.
Okay.
I think a lot of people thought that was a preliminary COVID promotion, but no, this is an ongoing promotion.
Okay.
We intend to sell the Coffee Strong shirts perpetually for the foreseeable future, and even we're talking about creating other Coffee Strong merchandise as well. But we encourage people to buy a Coffee Strong shirt. You can do that by going to coffeegachamber.com and clicking on the Strong Coffee button or Coffee Strong button. And then also we have our Coffee Strong Facebook groups. At first, at the beginning of the pandemic, it was just retail and restaurants. And we've recently expanded the number of groups to also include Coffee Strong Jobs, where our members can go on there and post job openings, and then the public can respond.
Oh, that's really good.
And learn of job postings. Particularly now, as we kind of are seeing parts of our economy pick back up again after that initial blow back in April. So there are a lot of people who are unemployed, as you know,
Right.
even right here in Coffee County. So that'll be a good way for them to connect with our members to get jobs. And also the Coffee Strong Bulletin. This is a place for the city of Douglas and churches and civic organizations to post announcements or events, as well as the businesses that aren't in retail or the restaurant world that just provide services. They can talk about their services as well in that group. So now we kind of have a span for everybody to get involved in these Facebook groups, get promotion,
Right.
and it helps the public be the... I wanted to have these kind of groups, so I would be the first person to know what's changing, what's going on with the businesses, who has different hours, different specials, different operations. So this is a great place for the public to stay informed.
Yeah, so they can get those updates, most definitely.
Right. Also, I don't know if you heard, Miss Blondell, but Facebook and Instagram have once again changed how businesses do business on Facebook.
I don't doubt that. Facebook's
And
always
so,
changing.
there are a couple of ways the public can help businesses get better organic reach, because as you know now, businesses can get hardly any organic reach at all anymore.
Right.
You make a post and maybe no one will see it just because of how Facebook and their algorithms work. So the public can help businesses in this way by joining the Facebook groups, and they can
Right.
see business posts. Second, it's really important with these new algorithms for you to comment on posts. So even if you see a business you want to support post something, if you'll just leave even an emoji in the comments, that can help them get more reach. So you can do your part to support them just by putting an emoji in the comments, reacting to their posts. Also, they've added a new thing where you can go to their Facebook page, and under following, you can click see first.
Okay.
And that way, that business will show up on your feed, and that really helps them get reach as well. And then fourth and finally, we encourage people to leave good reviews on Facebook and Google. We all too often forget to leave a positive review, and we always want to leave a negative review,
Right.
but we can't ever remember to leave a good experience. So we encourage people to leave reviews on Facebook and Google. That will also help them get better reach on all things internet.
Okay.
So we encourage them to do that.
Those are good tips.
Yeah. Finally, well, and also I have put See First on the City of Douglas page, and I encourage people to put See First on the Chamber page, so that you can stay informed with what's going on in the community.
Right, because y'all also do a lot of outreach and a lot of information too on the economic development side too.
Right, yeah.
I believe, is there an economic development Facebook page?
It
and a
is, but it
chamber?
is very new.
Okay.
And not very regularly used. Usually whatever we'll put on the EDA page, we'll also put on the chamber
Okay,
page.
all right.
So that if you had to choose one, I want you to choose the chamber.
Right.
Because we'll put everything on there, from Main Street to tourism to the chamber world to economic development. So it's all on the chamber page.
I
So-
totally understand that, because just like with the city, we have our City of Douglas page, and then we also have the police department,
Right.
fire department, blah, 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 but we put most of the information on the City of
Right,
Douglas
that's
page.
how we do as well. I mean, there will be stuff on the Visit Douglas page and the Main Street page, but we can't help but post everything on our chamber page.
We're only one person.
Yeah.
That's the big difference.
Exactly. If anyone gets me, it's you.
Yeah. Well, Megan, we appreciate you being here today,
thank you so
and we'll have
much.
to have you back or somebody else from your team to come in and give us some more updates, but it's always so good to have you here.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks. Welcome back to the Douglas on My Mind show. I'm here now with Miss Georgia Henderson, the Community Development Director, and she is going to talk a little bit today about the rural zone.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for the opportunity, Blondell.
So what is the rural zone?
Well, I tell you what, a lot of times when I come on here and I've been in that seat you've been on, I can just talk about things, but I'm going to have to cheat, look at my sheet today.
That's fine.
I'm just going to go ahead and confess that to everyone. But the rural zone, rural, first of all, is an acronym for Revitalizing Undeveloped Rural Areas Legislation. So that's Revitalizing Undeveloped Rural Area Legislation.
It's a mouthful.
That's the reason we say rural zone, because who wants to say all those words
Right.
every time? But it's a bill that's known as the House Bill 73, and it was passed in 2017 by our legislators with the purpose of providing an incentive to our downtown business districts that falls within like a predominantly historic area that finds itself in just having a slow growth growth in the downtown and slow investments in that area. So we had to go through a process, and we were successful in getting the destination for our downtown.
Right. We were designated as a rural zone in, was it 2019 or 2020?
2019.
Okay.
And it went into effect 2020.
And that's, we were designated that by the Department of Community Affairs.
Yes.
It's not that the city just decided, oh, we can be
And
designated.
I hope I
as
have
this.
that right, because for some reason I want to think we were designated that in 18, but I think we're right in 19, and it went into effect
In 2020.
July the 1st, 2020. You are right. That's right.
Explain the designated zone and how this credit, like we hear about tax credits and things like that associated with the rural zone. How are those credits beneficial to a business?
Well, this tax zone was deemed a tax credit by the commissioners of both the Georgia Department of Community Affairs and the Georgia Department of Economic Development.
Okay.
And with that purpose, this tax credit was to be an incentive to developers and businesses within this rural zone area. And before we leave, just remind me that we need to talk about the map. And like you said, beginning in January 1st, 2020, our city have 5 years to try to encourage businesses and investors to take advantage of this tax credit. After that is gone, and we don't know if we'll be able to apply again, but some of the guidelines that came with it, that our city or county who was applying for this credit had to have a population less than 15,000. Well, that's us.
That's us.
You have to have a high concentration of historic properties in the area. That's us, in our Main Street, part of our downtown district area. And what I mean by historic, has to be at least over 50 years old.
Wow.
We must prove that there's an economic distress in this area. And interestingly enough, it was an economic distress when we applied for it.
Right.
And then just looked like all kinds of development now has taken place in the downtown. And then, of course, because we, the government, we applied for this, we're the ones to get the designated status and have designation status and has to keep up with it. We have to make sure, too, that we are certified local government, meaning that we have to have being good financial status. We have to have our service delivery strategy, just all kind of reportings that's required by our municipality with the state, these two state offices, DCA and Department of Economic Development.
So thank goodness for good record keeping.
Yes, thank goodness for good record keeping, and I give our government thumbs up for being a certified local government, because
Right.
that helps us with so many things, applying for grants and being in good financial standing if we decide to get different loans and things like that through these state agencies.
Okay, now to apply for these different tax credits, does the business have to be a new business? Can it be an old business? Does it matter? I mean,
That's a good question. There's 3 of the tax credits, and
Okay.
and before we get into that, I just want to say that there's 3, and we'll talk about the job tax credit first. To qualify for the job tax credit, of course, since our status just started after January 2020, so any new businesses, if you think you're going to open a new business, and with any of this, the investment or the rehabilitation, there's a process to it, and didn't want to get ahead of myself, but I'll go ahead and say it. The process is that we have a one-page application.
Okay.
And on that one-page application, the person who wants to qualify, they only fill out what we call Part 1. That's just this much of the page.
Oh, so it's not like pages and documents.
It's not like pages, so don't think,
That's
I
a
don't
good
want to
thing.
go through all that hassle. And we have offered it, I'm going to tell you, to some of the investors and businesses downtown, and I've just been surprised, well, in the zone area.
Right.
That they have kind of declined, because by the time they come to us or we hear about them, they're at the point to where they're almost ready to open their doors.
Right.
And we're like, wait, stop, take a minute, just complete section 1 of this application. Let's send it off to the Department of Community Affairs, get you certified, we get it back, then you can roll with it, because it is a process to
Right.
it. Because then if they're approved, of course, the next thing is DCA will notify the business, the city of Douglas, and also they will notify the Georgia Department of Revenues, so that when someone goes to do their taxes, they're registered. They know that this is legit and you have a letter to get these tax credits.
Okay.
So we'll start with the job tax credit. Like I said, it's 3. The first one is the job tax credit. To qualify for this credit, if there's a new business and they're creating at least 2 full-time positions and maintaining them, then you qualify for this tax credit. Now,
Oh,
you
wow.
can have 2 flat-out standard full-time employees as we know it, or to make up those 80 hours of what would be 2 full-time employees. If you have 2 part-timers to make up the
Right.
40 hours, or, yeah, I was right the first time. If you have 4 part-time employees and their hours equal 80 hours, because each one get 40 hours, then they qualify.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be one person to get 40 hours a week. You can have 2 people to get up to 40 hours a week.
Okay.
And they qualify. It just have to be 2 equivalent to 2 full-time positions. So the way that will work is, I brought my little cheat sheet. And the businesses that are eligible for this are professional and retail type businesses.
Okay.
So you just have to look, there's a business code, you look to see if you fall in there, but if you're professional or retail. So the way it will work is that you can't exceed $40,000 in a year. So long as you have a minimum of 2 full-time employees, you can hire as many people as you want to operate your
Right.
business, and you get the tax credit for them, but you can only file up to $40,000 each year, and you have to spread it out over a period of 5 years.
Okay.
In equal, so whatever you hire, and you have to maintain those positions. Maybe different people that you hire, but you rehiring someone back and maintaining
Right.
those job
You
positions.
don't get rid of that job.
For a period of 5 years, that's right. And let's just say if this is 2020 and someone, because we said that the city is certified for 5 years. If you file for this tax credit at the end of, let's see, that'll be 2025 for us.
Right.
If you filed in 2025, okay, our status designation end, but you as the business, you still get to continue filing that for 5 years.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That's really good.
So that's the first one, is the job tax credit for that one.
Okay.
The next one, Blondell, is the investment tax credit. Now, this one works a little different. This is for someone who comes and buys the property.
Okay.
And I know you said, well, can it already be purchased? So I think this may answer your question. It has to be purchased within the time where we started, where we got the designation. So anytime after the year 2000. But before you do anything to it, still you need to fill out that form with us.
Right.
And
So-
let us send it through and get it approved.
So if someone purchased a business space in the area this year after January the 1st, they could possibly apply for this tax credit?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And before you get into rehabilitation, which is the next one we're going to talk about, y'all need to be calling our office, because we
Right.
need to get you to filling out some paperwork. But with the investment tax credit, the way it differs from the job is that this is 25% of the purchase price, not to exceed $125,000.
Okay.
So your building may cost you the property $350,000, where the most you can claim is $125,000.
Okay.
And with this one, you can spread it out in equal, when I say installments, equal tax deductions rather over a period of 5 years.
Okay.
That's the way that one works. So, I mean, it's just simple. If you spend $400,000, well, let's see, because it said not to exceed 125, so that's not a good example. I'm sorry, 125,000, and I told y'all I'm learning this too, within 1 year. So let's just say if you did pay $400,000 for the property, you divide that over 25%, then you're gonna do a tax deductible of $100,000 a year.
Okay.
So you're still not over your 125 a year.
Right,
So I had to correct that.
Yeah. Hey, when you start spitting out those numbers like that, it's hard to keep up with it.
Yeah, I keep teasing the city manager. That's one department. He won't have to worry about me transferring to the finance department. Don't let me come in there and tear your numbers up.
All right.
And then the last one is the rehabilitation tax credit. Now this is if a developer has purchased the building, now they want to do rehab on it. So with the rehabilitation, you know, you can't exceed over $150,000 deduction in a year, and this is 30% of what it may have cost you. So let me see if my little numbers work out. So let's just say you're done $150,000 on the first floor of a building, $150 on the second floor of the building. You have a $300,000 tax credit.
Right.
Well, when you divide that out over a period, now this one you have to claim it in equal deductions over a period of 3 years.
Okay.
So you can claim $30,000 a year on that. That's your 30% of the $300,000 investment you made.
Okay.
And I hope all these numbers are not confusing you all. If it is, just remember that there's a job tax credit, investment tax credit if you purchase property, and rehabilitation if you make improvements to it. And when you call up me or Dave with the Main Street office and want to talk about it, we'll make a little more sense to probably what I'm saying today.
Right.
on
We
the
almost
show.
need like a flow chart
We
here or
do,
something.
And I'm gonna try to give
But
Johnny
it's
some
all
slides
right.
to put in here on it. So that's the purpose, and that is really how it can
The biggest
incentivize the business.
And that's what I was
owners.
going to say. It sounds like the biggest thing with the rural zone, if you have a business located, or if you're looking at relocating to a business downtown, they need to first find out if it's located in the rural zone area, and then you can kind of walk them through the process of each one of those different tax incentives. I mean, so it's a win-win, especially if you're a business owner and you're wanting to grow your business or
That is true.
do some remodeling.
And I brought the map with me, and we're going to try to, I think you put some of this on our website for us, is that right? I don't know if the version on the website have the street names, because I realized the one that Department of Community Affairs sent us didn't have the street names on it. But if you can try to picture this in your mind, I'm going to tell you the rural zone area. It goes over from Gaskin Avenue over to Manila. Gaskin to Manila, that's what's that, east and west, right?
Right.
Then north and south, the way it's going to run, there's portions of it that stop on Ashley Street. It's like a stepping kind of
It
with the
is.
map. It stops at Ashley Street. It goes, then there's a section that stops at Pearl and goes all the way up to where our Chamber of Commerce,
Yes.
that whole building block is over
Like that
there.
Cellar Street.
Yes, and down to like Rickerson Funeral Home on that end. And then on the south end, it goes pretty much all the way to the railroad track. So from Rickerson Funeral Home north to south, all the way down to the railroad track. And then depending where you are, it may be either the Chamber or Eves is the highest point. That's the best way I can tell it.
That's true.
On the north end down to the railroad track, and then in that area it goes over to Gaskin Avenue. So if you think you have a business or you have your eye on a piece of development in that area, just give me a call and we'll look at the map together and better figure that out and get the right one published on our website.
And hope we get some street names on there. Yeah,
Yes.
the one that, like you were saying, the map that is on the website right now, the easiest way I could help anybody if they looked at that map was to find the green roofed buildings, which is Central Square Complex, and go from there and try to figure it out.
That is exactly what I did.
But, If a business is interested, what should they do first? Should they contact you? Should they contact the Department of Community Affairs? I mean, kind of what's the process?
Yeah, no, do not call the Department of Community
Right.
Affairs. They want you to start here locally in the community because
Okay.
there's some things we have to check off. So get in touch with us. We'll get you the application. And like I said, you fill out about this much information on the page and we'll fill out the other half. We'll forward it to DCA. And from there, they'll contact us and the business owner back almost at the same time, let us know if they met the certification or not.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Right, okay. And now we are trying to get some more awareness out there to the citizens and to the business owners. So there is like a PR plan that's being put together and being out there. And so people are going to hear more about
Yes,
it.
yeah.
And if you want your civic organization or somebody like that to hear more about the rural zone and its incentives, then they should contact you.
Yes, they can
Okay.
give me a call and we'll get someone or myself scheduled to go out and talk with them. You know, thank you, Blondell, for helping us with a public relations plan for this. From that, we have sent out a press release. You
Right.
have done a great job putting some information on the website and social media for us, and we thank you for that. We also have, through the creation of Ms. Thomas, this beautiful brochure, which simplifies what I have tried my best to talk to you about today, that explains it in a nutshell for you. These are available. You can pick some up at the Ashley Slater House. If I'm not there, Blondell and whomever is there, they'll be glad to give you some of those. Some other things we're going to do, like here on Douglas Home of Mine today, talking about it. Also, we're going to go around and try to set up some time and send out some letters and information to the bankers because they need to know this, the CPAs, because at the end of the tax year, they're going to be the ones doing the taxes for a lot of these businesses. So we want to educate them on what to look for and the certification to know if their client was indeed certified, you know, to apply for the tax credit. We're going to also talk to the realtors because the realtors are out there, and as they try to sell properties and get people to invest in real estate, this is a great incentive
That's
for
an
them
incentive.
to try to tell people. So we're doing all we can. I serve as liaison for the City of Douglas on the Downtown Development Authority. They are going to help push this information out as well. Scott Moore, he's our chairman, and we just thank them for their involvement. Dave Hughes is our Main Street manager, and he is another person. If you can't get me, you can give Dave a call at 384-1873, and he'll be able to explain it as well. We're going to get him the application, but still it has to come back to the city because our mayor has to sign off on it before we send it up to DCA. But listen, I'm all about anybody who can get the application and just get it back to our office. We'll get the mayor to sign it and get it where it needs to go.
Okay, all right. Well,
And my number, I'm sorry, I don't think I gave
I was
my
fixing to
number.
say real quick, tell everybody who they need to contact.
So you can find me at one or two places. My offices rotate between Ashley Slater House and City Hall, but to keep from giving out different numbers, I always use the main number 383-0277. You can email me at ghenderson@cityofdouglas.com. And if you can't get me, just call Blondell.
Yeah, I'll try to help you. Well, thank you for being here today, Georgia, and we appreciate it when you come on. I know you have a lot of information about different grants and different incentives for businesses and even for individuals. So again, I would say definitely give Georgia a call or shoot her an email, and she'll be more than happy to help you.
Yes, we'll help you how we can.
All right. We'll be right back after this.